Welcome to today's phonics lesson. Remember, if you are in class on the day that we're doing this lesson, you do not have to watch it unless you want a little bit of extra help, and of course you can still watch it. Make sure that you are doing just that day's work though, because we want to be able to do it every single day. Saxon Phonics is made to where we're using our letters and our sounds, but we're repeating. We're doing the same thing a lot every day so that we get really, really used to it and really, really good with what we're doing. Last week we did a letter. Our letter was L. L says ul. L says ul. Every letter makes a sound. The L says ul. We talked about lots of different things that had that ul sound. This week we're going to be working on a new letter, and this letter is really cool because it has two sounds. But we're going to be working on one of the sounds this week, and that's the main one we're going to work on. Our letter this week is going to be an O. O. Notice the shape Miss Elmore's mouth even makes. O. Ah. O. Ah. Do me a favor, I want you to get out your alphabet strip. Remember, it looks like this. Get it out of your white binder for me. We're going to start with our A, and remember, we're just going to be saying the letter. There's a difference between saying it and singing it. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Very good. Look at all your letters. How many letters did we have in the alphabet? Every time we're going to have the same amount. How many do we have? We have 26 letters. That's 2, 6, 26 letters. Some are found in red and some are found in black. I want you to get your pointer finger ready. Pointer finger ready. And I want you to point to all the letters on our strip that are red. Ready? A, E, I, O, and U. Very good. These 5 letters are the ones that are going to have more than one sound. They're going to have a short sound and a long sound, and we're going to talk more about that later this week. So we have 5. How many? 5. Remember, close your fist. Let's say each one. Ready? A, E, I, O, U. Let's try it one more time. A, E, I, O, and U. Good job. Those are found in red. All of our other letters are called consonants, and they are found in black. Just like our L, it was a consonant, and it was found in black. Our letter this week is going to be our O, and notice what color it is. It's red. So that means it's going to have 2 sounds. We're only going to work on the short sound of it this week. That's going to be ah. Ah. Good. Since we learned last week to listen for sounds, even if we don't know the name that's making that beginning sound, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to be listening for the last sound. These are going to be rhyming words. When we were in class this last week, we did talk about rhyming words. Miss Elmore loves rhyming words. They're so fun to say when they actually rhyme together. Rhyming words sound the same at the end. For example, if Miss Elmore said bat, cat, sat, mat, those all that sound the same at the end. They have the at sound. At. Listen one more time. Cat, sat, bat, mat. They all have the same sound at the end. This makes these words rhyming words. What sound? Rhyming words. And it has to be the sound at the end that's the same. Okay? Miss Elmore's going to give you 2 words. If they're the same, you're going to say same. If they are different, you're going to say different. Let's try it. Ready? Bat, cat. Do they sound the same at the end? B, at, k, at. Bat, cat. Do they sound the same? Yes, they are rhyming words. Very, very good job. Let's try another one. Lot, jar, lot, jar. Different. They're different. They don't have the same sound at the end. Good. Mop, cat. Mop, cat. Mop, cat. Do they sound the same at the end? No, so they are not rhyming words. Log, hog. Og, og. Og, og. Yes, they do sound the same at the end. They are rhyming words. Very good. We have one more. Hat, pig. At, pig. Hat and pig. Do those sound the same at the end of the word? Hat, at, pig. No, they are not rhyming words. One sounds like at and one sounds like ig. So remember, we can use our listening ears to hear those sounds and see if they're rhyming words. We can also use our listening ears to listen for the beginning sound of words. For example, whenever we did log last week, or I'm sorry, our L last week, we had like log. Log started with our L sound. Log sounded with our L, and even lion, lock, lollipop, lemon drops. We had tons of things that had our L sound. This week we're going to be doing a new one. So we're going to add on to our cards. So let's just review for last week and see if we can do these. Ready? You're going to do it with me. L, O. Do it with me. L, O. Lowercase L. There's a capital and a lowercase letter for each letter. Every time on our picture card will be a lowercase letter. L, O. Lion, O. L, O. Lion, O. Let's look at our new one. Now, Miss Summer's not going to show you the picture card yet because you're going to use your brain. We're going to turn our brain on. Brain on, ready? Brain on. We're going to listen and see if we can figure out what our picture card's going to be. So here is our O. O is going to be the letter we're going to be learning. In our alphabet, on our alphabet strip, notice even right here, it's in red. 2 sounds, but we're only going to learn 1 sound this week. It's going to be ah. O, ah. Ah. Notice Miss Summer's mouth looks like the shape of the O. O, ah. O, ah. My mouth doesn't close when I say it. This is going to be the sound for O. O, ah. I'm going to give you a clue, and you're going to see if you can help decide what our picture card for the week is to help us remember that sound. This is an animal that lives in the ocean, in the water. It has a big head and 8 legs. How many legs do you have? 2. Yeah, only 2. What animal lives in the ocean and has 8 legs and a big head? Got it? Okay, tell me what it is. What do you think it is? A little louder. Good. It's an octopus. Octopus has the beginning sound for R-O. Octopus. Octopus. O-ah. Octopus, ah. O-ah. Octopus, ah. One more time. O-ah. Octopus, ah. Good. We are also going to be learning how to write our O this week and seeing lots of different things that have the beginning sound of ah. Let's go ahead and look at some of our picture cards. Because it's a vowel, we're going to find it in the middle of words. When we make words a lot, you will still see it at the beginning of the words as well, though. So this is one of our first picture cards. This is called an ox. This is olive, orange, octopus, otter. Otters also live in the water. Ostrich. One more time. Ox, olive, orange, octopus, otter, ostrich. Good. We're going to have a new song too that is going to go along with our, oh, this one's really silly too. It's going to be called Octopus Stew. So here's a teacher. She's over here, and there's an octopus and an O on the board. Has different things that also starts with O. Octopus, otters, ostrich, olives, oranges. It has same things that we just used as our picture cards. It says, here's a question I'd like to know. What can you name that begins with an O? Here's that same picture. This is oxen. What are these? Oxen. If there's just one, it's an ox. If there's two of them, it's oxen. Oxen and otters, and notice they're holding those oranges. Ostriches too. Oranges and olives and octopus stew. Oh my goodness, that's silly. Would you eat octopus stew? Ooh, I don't know if Miss Elmore could. Let's see if we can do it all together. Here is a question I'd like to know. What can you name that begins with an O? Oxen and otters, ostriches too, oranges and olives, and octopus stew. Let's see if we can recognize it over here. We're going to also be working on a list for our O. So Miss Elmore made it really big. It almost looks like a donut. So we can put our words over here throughout the week of things that have the ah. And it says O is a vowel. So remember, it has two sounds, a short sound and a long sound. Our short sounds are what we're working on this week. Ah. And here in a minute when we write, we're going to make sure that we sit like Riley the raccoon, feet on the ground, hands nice and neat, one hand holding the paper, one hand holding the pencil. Very good job. Okay, Miss Elmore's going to turn the light off so we can see it a little better, and you're going to go ahead and get out your phonics paper and do it with Miss Elmore. So notice we have our capital O, which is our big O, and we also have our lowercase or little o. This is going to be ah, both of them. Ah. Ooh, this time though, the bear has two numbers it can point to. It's going to point to number 1 first. Here's where you're really going to have to use your listening ears and see what Miss Elmore's asking you to do. Now remember, Miss Elmore's using something different besides a pencil. I want you to use a pencil so in case you need to fix it. Okay, I'm going to hold my paper and look at our ostrich. Is that an ostrich? What is it? It's a octopus. Remember, an ostrich is on land and has long legs. An octopus is in water and has 8 legs. And remember, oct means 8. Okay, so we have an octopus. But by number 1, listen to what Miss Elmore wants you to write. I want you to write the capital and the lowercase letter that sounds like ul. Tell me from last week, what did the ul sound like? Ul. Good. And it was what letter? L. Good. So I'm going to use my pencil. I'm holding my paper. And I'm going to pull straight down. Oops. Somewhere can get hers to hopefully work again. I'm going to pull straight down and over. Straight down and over. And for your lowercase L, I'm going to start at the top, pull straight down, and stop. I'm writing my capital and my lowercase, and I'm doing it on number 1 because Miss Elmore wanted that sound for ul. I'm going to give you a second to finish that. Then here in a second, we're going to look at number 2. That 2 is something that we worked on this last week. We're going to be writing the capital and the lowercase letter that sounds like ah. This one should be a little easier to write because we worked on our 0. okay? And our zero and our circle both have this same shape. So I'm gonna hold my paper, and notice how they both look the same. My capital looks just like my lowercase. I'm gonna write a capital O. And then right next to it, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna make it a tiny bit smaller. So I have my capital O and my lowercase o. I have my capital O and my lowercase o. Don't erase yours, Miss Elmore's just gonna move it. This is so I can stand over here instead of having to be over there with the computer. We are gonna have lots of different letters. Our different letters in the box today are all lowercase. This is because it's really focusing and paying attention to the lowercase letters today. Tomorrow will be the capital letters that it's really gonna be paying attention to. Okay, let's go ahead and let's look. We're gonna point to each one with our pointer finger and say it. If you don't know it, that's okay, but the more we say it, the more we hear it, the more that we see it, the better we're gonna get. Remember, we're always doing our best. Ready? Left to right, top to bottom. M, O, G, O, L, O, D, L, O, W, X, O, M, L, O, F. Let's see if we can say them as a little faster. Ready? M, O, G, O, L, O, D, L, O, W, X, O, M, L, O, F. Very nice. Now this time we're only going to circle the letter if it has the lowercase shape. That means that lowercase O. Okay, let's go ahead and go through. M, no. O, yes. G, no. O, yes. L, no. O, yes. D, no. L, no. That was last week. O, yes. W, no. X, no. O, yes. M, no. L, no. O, yes. F, no. So your paper should look like Miss Elmore's paper. Look at your paper and make sure your paper looks like Miss Elmore's. Once you're done, go ahead and get out the paper that looks like this. Oops, Miss Elmore needs to erase it. Sorry. So notice it's kind of like yours where you can erase it with your eraser if you use your pencil. This is kind of the same idea for Miss Elmore's board. Now this one's going to be having our lowercase letter. Remember, some letters are tall, some letters are small, and some fall. This is going to be a lowercase little letter. That means it's going to start on the dotted line and go down to the bottom, to that ground. Same idea, I'm going to hold my paper when I'm doing it so that I don't have my paper move on me. I have a word right here. This is actually a color word. This is the color word orange. So what do you think our picture is? Good, it's an orange. We have an orange in the color word orange. It's going to give us the arrows to tell us which way to pull. You're pulling this way. pull that way. So even if I was to hold my paper and trace this way, I held my paper, I traced it. You can trace whatever it gives you to do. That same motion. You can skywrite it first if you need to. You can trace over the ones it gives you as many times as you need. Don't feel like you have to just do it the one time. Down here, we're going to be able to now see lots of our lowercase o's. It has your dot. You're going to pull this way. It's curved that way. So I'm going to hold my paper, start at the dot, curve around and down, back up to the top. Man, Miss Elmer's thing does not want to work today. Curve around to the bottom, back up to the top. Curve around to the bottom, back up to the top. Curve around to the bottom, back up to the top. You're doing the very best you can, and then what you're going to do is you're going to do the rest of them, and then you're even going to have some that are going to be where you're going to have to put and draw your own. So notice, like right here, there was a dot, so there is one. Everywhere there's a dot, curve around to the bottom, back up to the top. Every place there's a dot gets an O. Every place gets an O if it has a dot. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the back. You're going to have time to finish it at home. You're going to do it as nice and neat as you can. On the back, you are going to have an octopus. It has capital O, lowercase o, and your word octopus. Octopus. Use 3-star coloring and you're going to color your octopus. This is going to remind your brain that octopus is our picture card, and it helps us remember that starting sound for O. Octopus. Octopus. Make sure you do your very, very best work and come back tomorrow for more work on our letter O.